world of ideas and enter the world of oceans, a place where time, weather, and global movements intersect in a delicate rhythm. The ocean may look calm to the eye, but beneath the surface lies one of the most intricate logistical systems on Earth. For centuries, maritime navigation depended on instinct, experience, and human intuition. Today, AI is rewriting that story, guiding ships' smarter routes, predicting risks before they occur, reducing emissions, and bringing a new era of intelligence to one of humanity's oldest industries. Nearly 90% of the global trade moves across these waters, and every product we use, every supply chain we depend on, is connected by roads stretching thousands of nautical miles. These are the arteries of the world economy. Today's session takes us into this extraordinary universe and shows us what happens when AI meets maritime operations. And to take us behind the curtains of this transformation, we have two experts who are shaping the future of global logistics through AI. Can we have Sachin Chaudhary, Senior Engineering Manager, Innovation, Data Science, and AI, Maersk, along with Rishu Dalpati, Product Lead, Developer Experience and Strategy, Maersk Tech.
Thank you very much for that great intro. And after Smaranita and Swati talked such a beautiful thing about AI, today I am here along with my co-speaker, Sachin Chaudhary, and we will take you to the world of AI in the world of nautical miles.
Wait, before we get into the world of AI and nautical miles, I wanted to ask you, Rishu, how did you find the mandarin oranges which were offered during the lunch?
Whoa. We didn't have mandarin oranges in the lunch. Did any of you have mandarin oranges? Sachin, looks like more than the audience, you are feeling drowsy. So I will try to take you all back into the reality of life. And I'm pretty sure that we all are here with a purpose, not only for today, but for the life as well as technology. So before even I dive in there, I would quickly like to take you to a very small video.
At the end of the day, it's all about what gets you up in the morning. What makes your life and work meaningful? What we do impacts everybody. Every day. Everywhere. Because we do more than move with food, clothes, medicines, and goods we all rely on. We integrate the world. A world where an exchange of goods creates an exchange of culture, innovation, and trust. Where our customers and colleagues unlock opportunities and overcome challenges together. We are connected by purpose and guided by long-held values. Values forming the basic principle that we can be trusted, not just to enable global prosperity for all, but also to make it sustainable for future generations. That's what gets us up in the morning. Improving life for all by integrating the world.
So, as you have seen there, this whole video is all about the shipping industry not only touching every single minute side of life, but it also touches each and every country across the globe. So if you see the slide, it talks about a lot, but let me take you through a very light example, right? We have seen shipping industry moving the lifestyle as well as everyday needs into those giant vessels. By that I mean from eggs to mandarin oranges to Washington apples to clothing, merchandise, Puma shoes, Adidas shoes, Nike, anything that you can think about that we use in our daily life is being moved by the ships. And why is that? That we will talk a little later. Let me give a very brief example. So picture this. Today you have ordered iPhone 17 Pro Max, that nice, beautiful, small electronic box. And you have already paid $1,000 for it. And what if one fine morning you get a message, oh, you know what? Your iPhone is gonna get delivered a little late. It's delayed delivery. Would you be happy about it? No. Who would you question? You would question iPhone. iPhone would question the shipping industry. Shipping industry will question the ocean currents, engine performance, and I don't know what all. So there's a lot of complexity that we are trying to relate over here. And in all these years, all of this has been very much dependent upon the manual efforts and the manual calculation. How AI can work and help us in moving this industry from one angle of manual intervention to the world of AI is what we are trying to discuss over here. So if you see over here, manufacturing industry is being connected by the shipping industry to the global economy. What I mean is, any raw material that's available in one country is moved by the shipping industry to another country, and then once the end product is ready, it is again being moved by the shipping industry to the another country. So this is basically the magic done by the shipping industry in connecting the manufacturing, supply chain, as well as the global economy. With that, I also mean 90% of the global trade, or I would rather say 9 out of 10 products in global economy is moved by those large vessels. That also means, let me give you a very quick example, right? Any pair of shoe that is currently being sold off the shelf in US, maybe for example, $20 US, and then the same pair of shoes, when it is actually manufactured in Vietnam, sent over the vessels to US and still being sold at $20 US, and still making the equal profit margin. That means it is not only moving the GDP of two countries, but also connecting the global economy along with the manufacturing industry as well as the supply chain. So all this e-commerce and the economy that we see moving from one end of the globe to other end is actually being pivotized by the shipping industry. We would also like to give a very brief example of supply chain and reliability. So let me take a very quick example. We have heard some time back about the Suez Canal blockage. You might have heard. So when there was a Suez Canal blockage, over the night we have seen the prices of eggs, which almost all of us use in our daily life, has plummeted to great extent. That is not only impacting our GDP, but also has been impacting the global economy to the great extent. Similarly, for example, we all nowadays in some form or the other in India have been using IKEA products. Now imagine you're waiting for your housewarming ceremony, and your IKEA product, you have ordered a sofa which you want to have in your housewarming ceremony, and on the day of your housewarming, the product hasn't arrived. What would you do? Would it not really frustrate you? So those kind of reliability is something that we really need to address through the form of AI for us to be able to make sure that the e-commerce is not only helping in the end product as well as the economy, but also helps us to make sure that the cross-selling and upselling of the prices and the competitive market from one shipping company to other shipping company is being managed. And all of that is not possible with the human intensity. We really have to be able to involve AI for us to be able to depend on the intelligence and data that does not come from the human calculation, but comes from the actual trend marking. So for example, a ship starts from one end of the globe to other end of the globe. We do not have to wait for the voyage to end at the other end of the globe after months. We will be able to see live data. It's like a dashboard that brings up the live data and tells the real-time information to the pilot, who is actually driving or navigating the ship, for them to be able to navigate better towards the voyage. I will quickly run into the key challenges of the logistics that we have been seeing nowadays. So quick thing about fleet management. Route planning is one of the biggest challenge nowadays. It might look, so imagine 1 degree of change. For you, it might just be 1 degree of change in the protector. It is just this much. But there is a rule in shipping industry, 1:60. That means in 60 miles traveled by the ship, 1 degree difference can cause miles of off course. So with that, I mean, if a ship is moving from San Francisco to Washington, DC, 1 degree of change throughout that direction will end up for the ship to be 42 miles off the port. 42 miles off the port is really huge. And with that kind of difference, it is like increased fuel, increased greenhouse gases, and increased expenditure. So that makes shipping industry far more important, because shipping industry today exhibits around 1.7 metric billion tons of greenhouse gases, which can cause great and a huge challenge for the sustainability. Now, irony is, in spite of 1.7 metric billion tons of greenhouse gases being emitted by the shipping industry, it is still the most greenest form of transportation or for the logistics industry. And that is why we are focusing much more on curbing these kind of issues through the involvement of AI. Moving into the lack of visibility. So we all are living in the era of Amazon. Imagine you have ordered something on Amazon and then you are not sure when it is going to arrive. You have just ordered and you're hoping for it to someday land into your doorstep. Is that a good experience? No. So that kind of issues also needs to be curbed with the help of AI into the form of shipping industry. Similarly with profitability and manual processes. There is a lot with respect to maintaining the fulfillment of the cargoes. Every ship that contains thousands of cargoes in it, we need to make sure that all the cargoes are well utilized, and then the vessel pricing which is generally outrageous, can actually be managed and controlled with the help of the fulfillment of those cargoes. So the maximum usage of those kind of cargoes and the maximum usage or the fulfillment of the vessel helps us not only in reducing the greenhouse gases, but also promoting the revenue as well as the industry. Manual processes with respect to the compliance is another issue that we have seen, because in shipping industry, we have also seen that there's a lot of compliance that depends on the books, on the Excel sheets, on the Outlook, and we really need to make sure that all of this is taken care from a layer above through the trends from the history, and not on the actual manual labor that helps in putting up the data in a very magnified lens. Quickly running into the real problems, how AI can help us. I will just get into the generalized format of it. So predictive emission of intelligence. When a void starts from one end of the globe to other end of the globe, it is really very difficult for a human being to be able to identify what kind of carbon dioxide or nitrogen oxide will be emitted. It is also very difficult for a human being to be able to identify from the port that what condition is the ship going through, what is the engine performance, what kind of currents is the ship facing, is there any weather condition that is actually stopping the ship's performance as well as the ship's speed. In those kind of cases, digital twins comes into the picture. So when digital twins, with digital twins, we mean that a simulation of the actual ship is actually running for us to be able to understand from the ports what is the actual scenario that the ship, that the pilot is seeing, and he then helps in putting ships through the changes and make the decision accordingly to be able to match up with the end destination and the journey. Automated compliance, revenue optimization, and better visibility of customers is another angle that shipping industry does get benefited with the help of AI, because we use not only the data from the past historic trends, but also the data from the real-time dashboarding system that AI can help in calculating and putting up into the picture. These were very generic examples. I would now rely on Sachin for us to be able to understand the very pointed approach to how it helps us in our industry.
So thank you, Rishu. I think Rishu has summed up very nicely. She talked about the importance of shipping industry, first of all. Then she talked about some of the challenges which are there in shipping industry. And then she talked about how AI can help enhance some of these experiences or tackle some of these problems in shipping industry. Now, I actually want to go back to the previous slide. And first of all, I want to flash these problems in front of you once again. And we are going to talk about certain solutions which are being built by the shipping companies to tackle some of these problems here. Okay. So very first thing is basically fleet management, right? The fleet management is an area which is of the biggest problem for the shipping companies. And as you all know, the shipping companies heavily invest on one of their biggest asset, which is basically the fleet, which is nothing but their vessels, right? Which take the cargo from origin to the destination, right? So what precisely I think Rishu highlighted over here was the problem with the disconnect between the crew, which is handling the vessel, and the offshore management team, which is basically at the end reporting or making some kind of reports about how was the emission, whether the ship reached on time, and so on, right? Now, the ship has a lot of sensors. It takes the data from satellites and all of that, and that basically helps the ship to take real-time decision. But then most of these decisions, right now also, are happening in the back office, or let's say offshore centers. Right now, what happens is, if suppose I'm the captain of a ship, and I, let's say, take a decision at some point of time, right? I have to justify that particular decision to the offshore team. I have to tell them that, okay, this is the reason why I took that particular decision, right? Now, if we add an additional layer of AI, and if that AI is able to connect data from different sources, and if it is able to summarize that particular decision very well and inform that to the offshore team, I think in a way it is helping that particular company to ensure that there is no disconnect between the offshore team and the crew, right? That helps them to focus more on the problems of the customers, ensure that the delivery happens on time, move in the right direction at the right time at the right place, right? And that's more important for the shipping company to basically focus on. So this is how AI can help in this particular world. And right now, many shipping companies are actually using data from different sensors. They are actually integrating all of that data into a system. And I would like to now show you one video about how this particular data from different sensors, from satellites, from weather systems, etc., is basically utilized, and how smart decisions are taken during the voyage from the origin to the destination, and how it is also helping the offshore team as well as the crew to be connected with each other. So I'll just play a video.
When I started in the company, we didn't have a mailbox. We got things on a telex in 4 pieces of paper, where today we are completely integrated into the company. And that integration, bridging that gap between the shore side and the ship side, is one of the things that have changed the most in how we are running the ships today. StarConnect is a one-stop shop that will assist the decision process for the seafarers. So when the seafarers are creating routes, when the seafarers are optimizing the energy consumption of the vessels, this program will give them all the information that is needed to support that decision process. So instead of finding multiple scattered information, now they have everything in a single application. So you have the sea charts that we are planning our routes in, but you also have the weather overlays directly on top of the sea charts. You have our whale zones. So we have zones around the world where whales are migrating, feeding, etc., which at certain times a year you are allowed to do only a certain speed. The StarConnect knows exactly when are these zones in force, and it will then give an energy advice that will allow you to keep these speed zones in force while still meeting your ETA. Before, we were kind of running our ships on an average speed to make sure we reach the ETA at our arrival port. Now we can take sea currents into account 5 days into the future. So, okay, I might be running a bit slow now, but that's okay, because in 4 days I will catch up, because the wind and the sea currents will assist me. So I can actually run my engines at a lower load, meaning less fuel, and then I will still meet my ETA. StarConnect makes my life and my second officer's life much easier. It's freeing up a lot of hours for the crew to do more important jobs than putting numbers into a computer.
Yeah, so this is one live example of how AI is actually helping the shipping companies to ensure that everything everything is connected. There is no disconnect between the teams. Now, if you are a shipping company, or if you are, let's say, investor in one of these shipping companies, right? If you can do the fleet management correctly, half of your problems are solved. But is that the end? The answer is no, right? Because customer is your king. At the end of the day, you have to serve your customer, right? And for that customer, if you don't have visibility, then it's not a good scenario, right? Now even nowadays, right, we all order something, we all keep a track of where that particular product has reached and when it would reach to your door, right? That is very important for each one of us. And similarly, even for shipping customers as well, it's one of their, like, one of the most important things for the shipping customers. Like, suppose it's IKEA or Apple or whoever it is, right? They have to keep a track of where their container is, when it would reach, let's say, a particular warehouse, and when the iPhones can be sold in a particular showroom or something like that, right? So at this point of time, I think AI is being used by many shipping companies to scan global data sources, mainly for understanding where are the strikes happening, where are the terminal congestions happening, what is the weather like, right? And basis that, they can take better decisions. And what they usually are doing at this point of time are basically they are having ML models to basically predict what could be the delay, right? Which could be caused by, let's say, some kind of weather disruption or some kind of port strike or some kind of port congestion. What is the delay? What it means to the customer, right? End of the day, what it means to the customer. What they can do is they can proactively send an alert to the customer saying that, hey customer, your container would be delayed at this particular port by maybe 4 days, right? And that helps the customer then to understand or plan their supply chain accordingly, right? So this is how AI is basically helping to build that instant visibility for the shipping customers. And with that visibility also, there are some other benefits which the shipping companies can basically realize into. Like, one of the thing is they can cross sell or upsell certain other products, right? So one of the most important product in shipping industry is this free time. So shipping industry basically is selling space to the customers, right? And space is also for a certain period of time. Like, if you're buying a container, you get a container for 7 days or 1 month, right? If you are returning the container after maybe 30 days or 31st day, if you are returning back the container, what happens is you are liable to pay some kind of penalty to the company. And for the customers to mitigate this kind of penalty, shipping companies can basically cross-sell or upsell certain products like free time. You can buy 1 additional day by paying maybe $100 extra, right? So that's how these kind of the visibility can be converted into revenue opportunity, right? You can also sell your trucks. So shipping companies also have an end-to-end supply chain where they manage vessels which carry from maybe one port on the sea or ocean to another port on the sea or the ocean, but they also carry goods from that port to some inland city. Like, for example, there is a port in Mumbai. If a vessel arrives in Mumbai, there are shipping companies which also give you an option to basically take that particular container from Mumbai to Bangalore or Mumbai to Hyderabad. Now, how is that done, right? They also have some kind of trucking available, right? They can also sell, like, for example, if the container is getting delayed at a particular port by maybe 4 days or something like that, they can sell the customer, they can tell the customer that, okay, you can buy the truck from our side, and that way we give you a $10 discount or maybe 10% discount or something like that, right? So this is how opportunities can be created. The next thing is basically revenue optimization. Now, you create visibility for the customer, you do a proper fleet management, but end of the day, right, if you are a public company or even if you are a private company, the most important thing for you is profitability. If you're not profitable, then it's of no value, right? You might be serving the customers, but if you're not earning the profit, then it doesn't mean anything. So what happens generally is there is a first come first serve kind of a system where a customer comes and books a particular container on a particular leg. Now, for example, here, let's say you have a ship going from Rotterdam in Netherlands all the way to Yantian in China. Now, suppose you have availability of one particular box throughout the journey, and a customer comes and books one box from Hamburg to a port in Morocco. Okay, but once this one box is sold, what happens is you don't have capacity at a port in France, right? With that, what will happen is you cannot take any more additional bookings. But suppose, okay, the next moment, what happens is a booking comes, which is of a higher revenue. So it comes from this port in France all the way till let's say the port of Shanghai in China. You cannot take this particular booking because you don't have any space left, right? Now, is this a good situation for shipping company? No. The reason is because they have already sold the box for a smaller lane where maybe they would have got a lesser revenue. But there was an opportunity for them to basically sell that particular box for a longer journey. That way they would have got more revenue, right? So shipping companies have understood that first come first serve basis system is not really the best thing to basically build, and now they are dynamically building systems which will allocate capacity basis, let's say, the demand coming at different ports, right? So this is one way to optimize the revenue. The second thing is being market relevant. Now, for example, when we all have to buy something, we usually open Flipkart, we open Amazon, we open Instamart, we open whatever, right? And we check the prices in different portals, and wherever we see the prices are least, we just go ahead and book over there, right? We also check other things, but mostly it's about price. If you see a drastic difference, you're ready to wait for a day or maybe an hour extra, right? So that is again a very important point. And earlier, shipping industry or shipping companies were mainly relying on certain third-party vendors like Zeneta and C-Rates, etc., to get the rates which are there in the market. But now what they can do is tariff information is publicly available. If you open even Twitter, the X platform right now, right, you can also see some tariffs over there, right? What is the tariff between, let's say, Shanghai to Rotterdam or whatever? You can see that. So what shipping companies are doing is basically they are now getting this data through GenAI from these sources. They are actually combining that data with their internal data. They're trying to see where they are charging more or less, and accordingly they are adjusting the prices. With this, what happens is they're able to optimally price, and that way it leads to more revenue and more volumes for the companies, right? The last solution, as I said earlier, is about container space optimization. As I said, companies are selling you space, right? They want to optimize the space. Now, earlier it was a manual job where humans used to do some trial and error and find out like what is the best optimal way to fit in boxes in a container. Now, this process is also automated through the use of AI. There are a lot of optimization algorithms which can be used, and this entire process can be automated. So these are some of the solutions which are being used by shipping companies to either improve the revenue or space utilization or bring visibility, as well as do a better fleet management. I'll hand it over back to Rishu now.
Thank you very much, Sachin. So throughout this presentation, we have seen that how sustainability can be controlled. So today, shipping industry causes somewhere around 3% contributes to 3% of global greenhouse gas emission, and this, if not taken care immediately, can reach to a great extent by 2050. And this is not something that can be handled by the manual intervention. This is something which needs the involvement of AI for us to be able to take direct data and real-time data, not only from dashboards, but also from the different data on the side of global economy, to space availability in the containers, to engine performance, fuels, changing the type of fuels for us to be able to add to the betterment towards the sustainability situation across the global ecosystem. So with that, I would like to close. Thank you for listening in. And if there are any questions, probably me and Sachin can take it.
Thank you so much. Can we have the track curators onto the dais to hand over the sweet memento? We have Divya and Saumishri onto the dais. Give a huge round of applause for the speakers.
Thank you very much.